A lawmaker in California has blamed the drought, the relentless drought that we've been facing for the last 4 years, on our abortion laws. Apparently, Shannon Grove, who is an Assemblywoman in California, thinks that we need to do what Texas is doing if we want to get rid of the drought. Now, she was speaking at the California ProLife Legislative Banquet, okay, and of course she wanted to speak to the crowd, so she talked about how Texas and California differ when it comes to abortion laws, and remember, both states have faced a drought. Here's what she says. Texas was in a long period of drought until Governor Perry signed the fetal pain bill. It rained that night. Now God has his hold on California. Now, let me just note quickly what the fetal pain bill was. It basically outlaws abortion past 20 weeks under the argument that a fetus can feel pain past 20 weeks. Okay, so that's
a made-up argument.
Yes, it is a made-up argument.
There's no scientific evidence for that.
Yeah.
So, but there's no scientific evidence, but apparently it has huge effect because God saw that and was like, oh, finally, some legislation in Texas that I'm in favor of. I shall release the waters. Okay. And by the way, the floods in Texas killed a lot of people. So was God really happy, or was he actually kind of mad about the fetal pain bill? Now remember, there is abortion in the Bible. I know people don't know that, but read the Bible. You can give, if you think your wife has cheated on you, you give her a toxic potion that could kill the baby. And if it does, good. She was cheating on you, you caught her. Okay, so God is okay with abortion as long as the bitch was cheating on you. Okay, so maybe that's why he got angry, sent the floods to Texas. What are you doing? I'm in favor of abortion, and I'm going to kill those people with a flood. There's
absolutely no logic in her argument. And the thing that always drives me crazy is the same politicians that'll deny logical arguments for things like, I don't know, man-made climate change are the same politicians that serve on committees that have to do with things like science and agriculture. In this particular case, she actually serves on California's Agricultural Committee. Okay, so this is someone who's supposed to have some sort of expertise in this line of work, and obviously she lacks all rationality, all logic, and it's depressing to see this person and say this is a representative in California, an assemblywoman in California. Now, she was asked to elaborate on this a little bit, and she refused to speak to the media, but she did elaborate on her Facebook page because that's what politicians do now. And here's what she says. I believe, and most Americans believe, that God's hand is in the affairs of man, and certainly was in the formation of this country. Is this drought caused by God? Nobody knows. No, people know it was not caused by God. But biblical history shows a consequence to man's actions. She also, she stood up for what she said. I should note she's from Kern County, which is a very conservative area. So she's speaking to her constituents. They're people who believe in this type of nonsense.
That's the thing. She's not alone. She's right. A lot of people in this country believe in voodoo, right? And they think that God gets angry. He's a very moody guy, right? And sometimes he's happy and he's like, oh, you passed a fetal pain bill. Oh, that's awesome. I'm going to make it rain. I'm going to make it rain on Texas, right? And then other times he's like, oh, golly gee, California. You know, you didn't have the right abortion bill, so I'm going to make you the richest state in the country, make you the 7th largest economy in the world if you were your own country. I'm going to give you Silicon Valley. I'm going to give you Hollywood. I'm going to give you all these amazing things, but I'm going to tweak you with a drought. So how do you talk to a person like that? So the reality is that we're speaking different languages. We're almost on different planets, right? We live in 2 different realities. They're worried about what the sky god is doing, and we're trying to talk about sense and logic and reason. And by the way, scientists like the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration believe that this drought is not necessarily connected to climate change, that it's part of a regular weather pattern, right? There's some dispute over that. See, that's an interesting debate or a conversation I'd like to hear more about as to why this drought's actually happening. Is it cyclical, or is it something we can make a difference on? But instead, we have to spend half our time talking to people who are talking an entirely different language about Zeus and Athena.
Yeah, I should also say, though, that although that organization says that this could be cyclical, the fact that we're dealing with climate change has exacerbated the problem, right? So climate change has something to do with it, but it's not the single reason why the drought's happening in California.
But did the floods have anything to do with Thor? I mean, because or when Odin sent the lightning, that was part of the. Okay, I got you.
That's how it worked. Anyway, so even though she was pandering to the pro-lifers, there's a pro-life organization that is trying to distance themselves from what she said. Let me give you a statement from them. We are huge fans of Shannon Grove and all her efforts in Sacramento on behalf of life. That being said, we have not made a connection between the drought and abortion here in California.
Like, don't get it twisted. We like Shannon, but she's off the reservation on this one.
She's crazy.
That bitch be cray-cray.